Meteorologist Jennifer Correa and Francis Peyton leading us off this morning.
And Francis is focusing on the local impacts. We do want to start with Jen. This is still a Cat 4 storm, Jen, a really strong one at that, as we saw with the 5 a.m. advisory.
Jen, what is the latest?
Yes, that's right. Very strong Category 4 hurricane. And as of 5 a.m., still has those maximum sustained winds at 155 miles per hour. But one thing that has changed is the turn. It's starting to turn more towards the northeast because it was moving towards the east. Now it's east-northeast direction. Also, you'll notice that the speed has also increased, so it's starting to accelerate as it makes that turn. Right now moving at 12 miles per hour, maybe is picking up a little more steam once we get into later today and tomorrow, early part of tomorrow. Now, Hurricane Milton is expected to regain a Category 5 status. That is not what we want to see. Unfortunately, that's what's expected. Eventually, it'll run into a little bit of wind shear, just some moderate wind shear, but it's just not going to be enough to weaken it a lot. If anything, it weakens down to a Category 3, but that is still a powerful hurricane with the max sustained winds at 125 miles per hour, making that landfall. It looks like it'll be making the landfall late Wednesday night around 11 o'clock towards the midnight hour, and so overnight into Thursday morning, cutting across the Sunshine State and eventually downgrading into a Category 1, but that probably won't happen until it's closer to the Atlantic coast, exiting into the Atlantic by Thursday afternoon. So this is going to add on destruction across a big chunk of the middle of the state. And with that, here's a look at the storm surge, threatening storm surge along the west coast in the Tampa, Sarasota area, 10 to 15 foot. Along with that, Tampa to Orlando, you got that high threat of flooding. Here at home, we also have threat for flooding in Okeechobee and especially across Indian River County. So I'll have more coming up, but I'm going to send it off to Francis, and she's going to have a closer look at our counties.
Yes, let's focus on the local impacts for here at home. As you've heard the big forecast, we were talking about a lot of wind and rain, but unfortunately, I wouldn't rule out that threat of dealing with that spin up. We are looking at that tornadic threat starting by Wednesday afternoon, and we're going to keep a close eye on everything pretty much throughout the rest of this week. But for Palm Beach County, we're expecting to see an additional about 1 to 3 inches of rainfall possible. Wind speeds will be about 35 to 45 miles per hour in terms of those wind gusts. Moving these northward towards Martin County, again, additional 1 to 3 inches of rainfall possible. The further north you go, the stronger the winds are going to be. So looking at winds gusts just a touch stronger, around 40 to even 50 miles per hour. And then we'll move things again north towards St. Lucie County, wind gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour, an additional 1 to 3 inches of rainfall likely. Now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty here, where Indian River County under a hurricane watch. We're going to expect to see some wind gusts up to 75 miles per hour, especially near the peak of this, near Wednesday night into Thursday. Rainfall totals additional about 2 to 4 inches possible, and that's going to be the same story for Okeechobee County, which will remain further inland.